Hello everyone. I am a little bit under the weather today. I've got a scratchy throat, little stuffy up here. I think I caught something from my 3-year-old at her daycare. However, I can still basically smell and taste things. I did some samples a little bit earlier, so I feel like I'm close enough that I can do some reviews. But when my nose is on the bubble like this, the category I can trust as something I can generally review with some accuracy is big oaky American spirits. So today we are doing Barrell. I grabbed this little gift box of I'm not going to take things out of the big gift box because I don't want to break anything. But I got this gift box during Binny's last 15% off everything sale. Coupon day thing that they do. And what have we got in here? We've got their Bourbon Batch 36. We have got the Vantage. Also a very good Aston Martin, I'm told. And we got the Seagrass. And I wanted to review these because with the exception of some rums, I haven't really reviewed any barrels on the channel before. So today, with my nose a little bit gunky, today is as good a day as any to get it done. Now, Barrell, I mean, if you're watching this, you kind of know who these folks are. It's been around for a decade, 10, 12 years, something like that. And they kind of are doing the blending and recasking, finishing whiskeys thing that the sort of High West thing before we all stopped caring about High West for some reason. So they've also done other spirits. They've done rums, but mostly still sticking to whiskey. So I'm going to get these poured. So I've got the gift set, and I'm going to throw in for fun a sample of the Seagrass 16 that I got. And we shall talk about these in turn. And these are all in somewhat delicate flasks that I'm going to try not to knock over with my elbow later in the video. We're going to put the two Seagrasses right next to each other for comparison purposes, because you might initially think, looking at the label, that this is just an older version of this. It's kind of a different thing. So let's get this poured. All right, we're going to start with the basic bourbon blend. What is this? This is the Barrell Bourbon Batch number 36. It is at cask strength of 57.22% alcohol. Thank you for that extra decimal there. And it's a blend of 9-year-old Kentucky bourbon, 7.5, 8, and 10-year-old Indiana bourbon. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to guess there's a lot of Indiana in this, because it's not that expensive. And 8 and 15-year-old Tennessee bourbon. So there's MGP and Dickel going to this. I mean, who else is it going to be, right? So yeah, let's see. We got all of these with these three in the set are all probably around $75-$80 retail, whereas this last one is somewhere. It's going to be somewhere between $150 and $200 if you can still find it. All right. Batch 36. Smells bourbony. We're getting black pepper. A little bit of it's more than pepper though. There's like a little bit of a not cayenne. It's more like it's something sweeter than that. It's more like almost a ground up Scotch bonnet or something. So hot pepper, but on the sweeter, fruitier side. A little bit of like toasted orange peel, dried cherry, vanilla, of course, kind of sawdust, wood shop stuff. Also some wood resin in there. It's kind of resinous. Baltic black bread. So Lithuanian rye, that's sourdough, heavy, thick sourdough rye. Again, I always encourage everyone watching the channel to go hit your local Lithuanian bakery. In this case, for you want the black red, you want the Lithuanian rye. It's still not going to be the real thing. You really have to go to Lithuania or the other Baltic states for that. But you need to get that flavor in there. Oh, and there's some corn in this too. What is the actual percentage on this? Yeah, 79% corn, 16 rye. And there is a distinct kind of like, I don't know, candied elote kind of thing. Imagine like toasted street corn that you've covered in like, I don't know, like pancake syrup or something like that. Fun nose. I mean, it smells like a spicy bourbon. I'm getting a lot of MGP, really. There's there's some herbaceousness in there too. There's a touch of spearmint, a little bit of basil too. Yeah, once I recognized that a lot of this was MGP, like I could just like get those herbal notes right away. Fine on the palate. One more time. Sort of an odd duck, honestly. There's a lot of wood on this. A lot of pepper. That kind of black pepper, Scotch bonnet thing is there. But it's very short in the mouth. Like this presents pretty young. Woody, but young. Like everything that's happening is in the front. Like there's nothing past whatever that tooth is that's in front of my molars. Like everything is up here, nothing back here. Water might remedy that. We shall see. Yeah. The peppery stuff. Sweet tea. Street elote. It's sweet tea on the palate, not so much the pancake syrup thing. Good old-fashioned sweet tea. A lot of sawdust again, dried cherry. A little bit of orange, that toasted orange peel note again. Cinnamon stick. I mean, it's tricky because the mouth presence is pretty good. It's spice driven. It's very peppery. No, there's a little bit of a minerality in there too. There's some like was it like river rocks or something like that? Muddy river rocks in this. Mouthfeel is okay. The finish is pretty darn good. It hangs on for a while, but. The length on this is so just out of step with those other elements. This is like 8 years old going on, 7.5 going on like 6, maybe 5.5. I mean, it feels younger than it is. It's pretty good though. I don't think I would pay $80, but we have yet to add water. That kind of spearmint basil thing is still there. A touch of like flowers, but almost like soggy flowers. Like it's flowers that kind of you picked, but then like they got rained on or something. Something like that. The kind of black bread thing again, although it's really less so, and just kind of like a little bit more ashy, just some ashiness going on, intermingling with the spice elements. solid enough. I mean, it's, you know, I could hand this to a lot of just bourbon people, and they would taste and go, good bourbon, Kentucky hug, all that stuff. But I mean, if I like, this is what I can kind of pick apart. There's just, I want more mouth length. I want a little bit more complexity on the palate. Well, let's give it some water and we'll see what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll take 5. That about did it. All right, moving on. This one is a hair bit lower in strength. Barrell Vantage with a V12 engine. A blend of straight bourbon whiskeys finished in Mizunara, French oak, and toasted American oak. So you've got all the fashionable oaks going into this one. And once again, we're getting stuff distilled in Kentucky, Indiana, and Tennessee. No age statement on this, though. 57.13% alcohol by volume. It is a little bit darker than the last one. On the nose. Huh. Like a milk chocolate apple thing. Yeah, okay, let's go with that. So you took some Hershey's bars, you melted them over like a Granny Smith apple. That's kind of what it smells like. Baked Granny Smith apple. Black pepper. Quite some, what is that? Something herbaceous again. More maybe straight up fresh mint and a little bit of sage. A little bit of that same elote note. More chocolate. Struggling to get more off of this. It's a very, it might have more, I don't want to say more things going on, but more groups of things going. This is hitting more, categories on the tasting note chart than this one was. But it's not as vivid within those categories. It's hard to say much, a whole lot more about it. Maybe a little bit of cinnamon stick. Come on, talk to me. Like more chocolate, more milk chocolate. Something cereally? What is that? Not Captain Crunch. What is the other? Oh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's what I'm thinking of. Oh, totally. This is like, okay, so it's baked apple, milk chocolate, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and some pepper. And that's kind of what this smells like. And, okay, a little bit of like burned corn, too, on the palate. So I know, at an intellectual level, this is not disclosing the age of the components, so it's almost certainly younger than the bourbon here, the regular old unfinished bourbon. But this presents as older because the mouth length is much, much more serious. This is now starting to tickle my tonsils a little bit. What do we got here? We have got we're getting chocolate again, but this time it's more like, like raw cacao. There's like a grungy cacao character to this. Like, Overstewed tea. No, there's some Hershey's in this too, including that little hint of that butyric note you get in Hershey's. Yeah, overstewed Lipton's, absolutely. Black pepper. That orange peel thing again. Dried cherry. Lots of classic bourbon-y notes. Vanilla. Sawdusty stuff. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is back. Burnt corn. Kind of half-burned campfire twigs, something like that. Yeah, initial impression. Again, we're going to have to come back with these with water. But initial impression, I like this better. It may be giving up a hair bit in terms of, absolute complexity. Again, we're hitting more flavor categories. There's chocolate coming to this. There's a few more things coming to this. Maybe a hair, but less maybe depth within those categories. But the trade-off for maybe the hair bit loss in overall complexity is just better mouth presence, particularly in the mouth length. This is now, and get your minds out of the gutter, but do not underestimate the value of a spirit that's going to tickle your tonsils a little bit. It's going to get back there and, and stay back there a little while. I know what I'm talking about on the palate. Actually, there's some fig in this as well. Or maybe more like a fig Newton than like a fresh fig kind of thing, but it's that kind of thing. It's like dried fruit cookie, maybe with a little bit of mud on it. Yeah, it just have that same kind of minerality, that like river stone thing. I like this a little better. Okay, let's give it some water. We'll move on. So I should say, even though I haven't done a whole lot of barrel reviews, I haven't even bought a bottle of this stuff ever. I've had a chance to try them on a couple of occasions and festivals or whatever. And my usual opinion is just that they're kind of fine. I think they're yummy. I think they're nice bourbons, nice whiskeys, nice rums, but I never really get kind of blown away by them. And this is an example. Seagrass, everyone went nuts for this like a year or two ago. And I tried it a few times, and I thought it was good, and I just never really got all the hype about it. But I have with my little 200 milliliter bottle of this, so I'm going to see if I was wrong. Barrell Seagrass. This is a rye whiskey composed of components from Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, and Canada. Put a star in that. And it's been finished in Martinique rum casks. Now that's interesting because we're talking agricole rum here. I don't know what Barrell would do if they had like a Legalion cask or something lying around. Almost certainly not, but who knows what they would. But for the most part, legally you can't call something a Martinique rum unless it's cane juice. Now, here's a question. Is it American oak or European oak? They do not say. Madeira cask, so Madeira, I think sherry, but tending on the sweeter side. Unless you're talking PX, that's a different thing. But within that, sherry-ish kind of. And apricot brandy barrels. Sounds fun. 60.1% alcohol by volume. On the nose. Ooh. So, first note is I'm getting the apricot brandy, but it's almost grainy in nature. It smells a little bit like, you know, those shortbread cookies with like a little blob of apricot jam, like put in the center. It smells a little bit like those. White pepper, but there's also more minerality on this nose. There's certainly some like just like roadside gravel dust happening. There's some vanilla. It smells less overtly kind of aggressively woody than the others. Again, they're not giving, I don't think they're giving the age of the components on this. Oh well. I would guess there's a fair bit of Canada in this, but I can't be sure. Because I'm just not getting that much like raw, fresh American oak. Ginger. Like fresh ginger. Come on. It's a shy nose. I remember this being much more aggressive in previous times that I've smelled it, but yeah, apricot cookie. Certainly some minerality. Oh no, there's a little bit of herbs coming out now. Like kind of grassy herbs, garden herbs, parsley. Not really dill. I'm not getting dill. More ginger, cinnamon, cardamom. Come on, wake up. Lemon bars, a little bit of lemon bars. Something vaguely nutty. Like a couple of pile of nutshells off in the distance, something like that. I mean, it's appealing. It's just hard to nail down on the palate. Take one of the shortbread cookies with the apricot jam in the middle. Get your pepper grinder out and just grind a whole bunch of pepper on top of that cookie and then pop it into your mouth. That's kind of what this tastes like. Yeah, throw some of your garden herbs on top too. Your parsley and your oregano. Why not? Yeah. Ooh, some candied orange. Yeah, there's an herbal bitterness to this. I mean, so it's really the apricot that is ruling here, which I don't remember that, but that's what I'm getting right now, and I'm not mad at it. This is nice. A little dried cherry, a little vanilla, cinnamon again, ginger again, even a little hint of fennel on this, just a little bit. That kind of nutshells thing, maybe some burned nutshells. Maybe that's a Madeira. I don't really know. It's very good. It's much more of a step outside the norm than either of these two. These two, I could hand to a standard, bourbon American whiskey fanatic, and they would absolutely get it. They would enjoy it. This one I'm not sure, because it's so driven, especially by that kind of apricot note. Yeah. Come back to this. 3, 4, 5. That'll probably be enough, but I'm not sure. I'll give it like a few more drops. Like a quarter squirt more. Okay. And now, the one that was not in the set, the Seagrass Grey Label 16-year-old. This is batch 2. 66.67% alcohol. So considerably stronger than these others. Now, again, as I said at the beginning, this is not just a stronger version of this regular Seagrass. Because the regular Seagrass is a blend of Canadian and American rye. This, at least according to the back label that I found a picture of, is all Canada, which explains why they were able to get 16-year-old rye and sell it for kind of a reasonable price. However, so far as I can tell, same set of finishes. So, Apricot Brandy, Madeira, and what was the other one? Right, Martinique rum. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, interesting. So this time it's really more the Madeira that's coming through. Yeah, you're getting that kind of like oxidative, like half nutty, half like appley, dried apple kind of white wine note. No, but the apricot is creeping through. And apricot distillate always brings some herbaceousness. That's just its thing. So there's some basil, there's some sage, parsley. I'm sure the Martinique is playing a role in this too, but really, I'm really getting Madeira, and Madeira is taking the lead with the apricot, a kind of not a close second, a respectable second. There's some dustiness going on, kind of road dust. Very, very fruity. Apple cheese. I don't think pear cheese is a thing in Lithuania, but if that existed, it would smell like this. Kind of some potting soil, like dusty, dry potting soil. More herbaceousness. What is that? I want to say it smells like tannins, but that doesn't make sense because tannins don't smell like anything. Certainly some white pepper, almost some, what is that? Like unstewed mixed teas. What kind of tea is? It just smells like a whole bunch of teas were kind of thrown together, like by a bunch of monkeys. That's kind of what this smells like. So white pepper and vague tea. Fun. As a Madeira lover, I should talk about Madeira sometime. But as a Madeira lover, I enjoy this nose. This is a good nose. On the palate. Oh. You feel every one of those 66%. This is hot. This is spicy. I have a feeling I'm not going to get the best out of this until I add some water to it. But as it is, similar kinds of vibes. It tastes like an excessively strong bottle of Madeira. Not good Madeira, just like but not bad either. Like you're past your crappy basic rainwater. Maybe this is more like one of the upper level rainwater Madeiras, like a 20-year-old or something. Yeah, maybe that's where we're at. So we're getting like nutty white wine, dried apple, dried pear. But the apricot is right there, and it's dragging all of its herbaceous friends behind it. Oh. Same kind of mix of herbs. So sage, basil, parsley, touch of rosemary, black pepper. Oh, the alcohol nip on this is really kind of brutal. There's tannins too. There is some like overstewed tea coming in the back end, but it's really out the alcohol that's fighting you here. Vanilla, dried cherry. That's interesting. Now that I'm looking for those kind of American cask notes, I'm getting a fair amount of them. I already mentioned black pepper, but yeah. I mean, I like this. It feels like it's not just, a bunch of finishes sitting on top of the spirit. It feels like they're pretty well mingled. You are getting the Madeira and a little bit of the apricot kind of taking the lead. I don't know where the Martinique is, but I assume it's doing something. But then you got those kind of American oak influences also coming in. And maybe a couple of wet rocks too. Why not? Oh. I would drink this with water though. It's just, it's a lot. All right. 1, 2 squirts. 3 squirts. 4 squirts. 5 squirts. We're going to do at least 6. Right on the edge. I'm going to give it a little bit more. Just a little bit. All right, let's go through these one more time. Give these a final score. What do I like the best? I mean, the 16 is probably a little bit in the league. Then these two are kind of fighting it out for second. I think the regular bourbon is kind of like in the, holding up the rear. But that may change now that we've added water. Let's see. Yeah, like toasted orange, cherry, and kind of like MGP herbs / rocks. I don't know if MGP constitutes a majority or even a plurality of the blend here. I honestly don't. Like, I know nothing about the Barrell guys. I don't. But that character is really dominating this for me. I mean, it smells like a very solid example of MGP at this point. Yeah, there's a little bit more sweetness coming through, a little bit more sweet tea. Okay, nice. On the palate. Has the mouth length improved? When I say mouth length, this is my own term. I invented this. It's just a term for how far back is the event happening on my palate. Are we getting to my lungs? Or are we like right at the front? Are we at my front teeth? Mouth length has improved. Not quite enough. Not enough to chase the rest of these down. That said, they may fall on their face. We may have even lost a little bit of the finish in adding water. It's still fine, but it feels like it's fading a little bit more quickly. But at the same time, like I'm getting better mouth length, mouth presence is about the same. What's happening? Well, I'm getting a little bit more of like a sweet cherry thing. Well, not sweet cherry. What am I saying? Grater's has a pretty decent black cherry ice cream. It tastes a little bit like black cherry ice cream that's been like with like sawdust and like some MGP rocks, herbs, kind of all that thrown in. It's fine. It's a fine bourbon. I don't think I would pay $80 for this, or 70, whatever it is. I don't see it. I'm stuck between an 84 and an 85 with this, so I'm going to call this an 84 plus. It's not. It's certainly fine. It's a fine bourbon, but yeah, not going to be one that I'm going to run out and buy, and not going to be one really that is going to stick with me. Like, it tastes like a pretty good example of a reasonably aged MGP, augmented by maybe some other stuff. But that's what I'm getting. All right, back to the Aston Martin Vantage here. Now with water. So this was already kind of reserved on the nose before, and water has kind of made it pull back even more. Come on. Come on, show me something. Okay, so sweet tea and milk chocolate coming out a little bit. And pepper, lots of pepper. Do not fall on your face when I'm trying to give you a good review. I want to give these guys good reviews because I want to be able to say, hey, look at me. I may review lots of crazy stuff, but I'm not biased against American spirits. I love this stuff, and I really, really want to champion this. Yes, spicy sweet tea with some milk chocolate and black pepper dumped in on the palate. That's not what I wanted. I mean, so I'm torn with this because it's what water has essentially done when I added it to this is to kind of strip away the finishing effect. So I've lost most of my chocolate. There's still a little bit of kind of cocoa nibs creeping in here and there, but it really just tastes like a regular old bourbon now. Pretty good regular bourbon. I think I still like it more than the Batch 36, but very bourbony bourbon. I mean, spicy cinnamon, dried cherry, vanilla, stewed tea, a little bit of an herbaceous thing still, a little bit of basil kind of in there in the mix. It feels like we've lost the finish though. I don't know. I feel like this isn't the worst for that. The mouth presence is still pretty much exactly where it is. It's still very, very good. But it hasn't stepped up at all. It's just become like a regular bourbon. So yeah, if you buy this and you like the chocolatey aspect of it, don't add water. I'm sorry, you're stuck drinking this neat. Yeah, I mean, I'll call this an 85. It is better, but it's not killing me. It's an 85 point finished bourbon product thing. All right, let's save this. I really want to give at least one of these like a super duper high score, because I'm a patriot, damn it. Even if I have to give the Canadian one the high score. Back to the Seagrass. It's kind of the herbs that have taken the lead on this, actually. I mean, the apricot cookie thing is still there. But, like, it's really the garden herbs kind of aspect of this that has taken over. It's kind of grainy, though. There's a little bit of a step forward from the graininess. Like a porridge aspect to this. Orange, almost like a Grand Marnier thing. Yeah, super orangey now. Cinnamon, pepper. Okay, on the palate. Yeah. I mean, this one is beating the previous two. And let me tell you how. The mouth presence, even now that I've added water, like hasn't dropped at all. Like this is still, the finish is sticking around, mouth length is good, mouth presence is really good. Apricot, like candied orange, sour candied orange, herbs, that graininess, which is hard to nail down, porridge, let's call it porridge, even a honeyed aspect to this. Dried cherry, cinnamon, cardamom as well, ginger. This works really, really well. It's just a good mingling of grain and aggressive wood tannins and those kind of fruity notes, and the herbaceous stuff. Yeah, I mean, as far as this tasting set goes, this is the winner by a margin, 86 points. Not a huge margin, but a margin. It's just a little bit better. So yeah, I understand y'all going a little bit nuts for this, because there's aspects of this, the structure, tannins, the grip, that makes it feel like a traditional American whiskey, but it's got those kind of like apricot-y, woody, fruity notes that are kind of a new thing. I respect this. I appreciate this. In terms of absolute quality, is that, beating the crap out of rare breed, say? I don't think it is. There's a lot of classic American whiskeys that are just as good as this and a hair bit less expensive, but it's also just kind of a new fun thing to try. But I would also say, if you really like this, go buy some actual apricot brandy, and it will blow your mind. I'm serious. Just do it. I'm serious. Now, one of the crappy liqueurs that's made for cocktailing, an actual, like, distilled apricot. There's a bunch out there. Seek it out. All right. And now the last in the lineup. This is the Seagrass 16. batch 2. I mean, it feels like they might be cheating a little bit here because I really adore Madeira as a note, as a category. It's so classy. And this is just throwing a ton of Madeira at me. Yeah, dried orchard fruit, apple, pear, a little peach, dried peach, like vague nuttiness, oxidative white wine nuttiness. But then, like, it reminds you, hey, I'm a whiskey. There's a little bit of a porridge note, a little bit of an oatmeal note. Black pepper. Touches of vanilla. Apricot creeping in as well. Herbaceousness. Is this like a $170-ish nose for me? It's nice. It's a very nice nose, and I would be shocked if it didn't win this lineup on the palate. Maybe I was wrong. So I was getting a lot of heat on this the first time around. I thought it was just the alcohol. I really thought like all that nip and pepper was just the alcohol hitting me. But now that I proofed it down, it's still throwing me a lot of nip and a lot of heat. But it's good though. Arrives like a really good kind of mid-shelf Madeira. That's how it presents. A very peppery one, but still. And then, kind of as it goes into the mid-palate, it turns into a whiskey. You get lots of pepper, cinnamon, cardamom, a little bit of nutmeg in there as well. Tons of black pepper. Tons of jalapeno, a little bit of like a Tobanjan mala numbing spice thing. Apricots are definitely in the house, along with its herbs, all the herbs that come along with apricot. Good mouth length. Good mouth presence. Mouth feel. And the finish it hangs and hangs and hangs. It's maybe a hair bit nippy, even after you've added water. A hair bit aggressive. But yeah, this is very good. I'm not going to score it out of the park. It's not a home run. Like it's a good double. This is a good double. That's what it is. I'm going to call this 88 points. For the price, I wouldn't. But I could understand if someone really, really, really dug this. Because it does do... It's a great combination of a huge whiskey. It's enormous. It's aggressive. It's not pulling punches. But it's also kind of delicious at the same time. There's like a weird, huge deliciousness factor here, which is interesting. But in terms of like just what it's got, I can't get higher than 88. So that's what it is. And that is your lineup. I think we're just going up linearly here. The bourbon, batch 88 or 36 here, I'm sorry, is an 84 plus. It's okay. I mean, please don't be mad at me if you really like this, but I wasn't super duper impressed. The Vantage is an 85. I would say don't add water to this unless you want the chocolate notes to go away. The Seagrass is an 86. And the Seagrass 16, the gray label, this is an 88. And that is the video. And I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea, see if my nose unstuffs itself. And that's the video. Thanks for watching and cheers.